community. The thought of building a bridge across Atlantic Avenue is a major issue. I'm concerned that it becomes a target. Many of us are not aware that when I was a police officer in the 88th precinct, we had a major terrorist attempt at the Atlantic Avenue station where they were going to release gases because that's one of the largest hubs of individual and people that use that area. To build a structure there of that magnitude and capacity that bumps us up on a terrorist level, and no matter how peaceful it may seem, I'm constantly debriefed by our Homeland Security personnel. We have a real threat in this country. Because that is why they call them sleeper cells. They sleep and let us get comfortable. We are in danger. There are people who stay up every day thinking about how they're going to hurt Americans, period. That's all they do. And so that the building of that terminal, until we can come up with some very realistic size and some very realistic security measures, some very realistic infrastructure from schools to sewer systems, I don't think it was well thought out, and I cannot endorse the project with the way I feel at this time. And I believe there's a court case going on, and that court case is important to be resolved before any determination on what we're going to do with the project at all.
This Homeland Security thing, is that really an issue in your mind?
Yes, I think it's a very real issue. I think that first of all, Atlantic Avenue is a sexy, attractive target. You know, I think 34th Street and 6th Avenue, 34th Street and Penn Station, and Grand Central are top targets when you come down to with commuters. When you look at Atlantic Avenue, you have the 2, 3, 4, 5, the B, the D, the Long Island Railroad. It's an extremely attractive target. And it has been cased out before by terrorists.
So what's to do about it? The idea of putting 18,000 people there at regularly scheduled time.
That's part of the discussion. That's part of it.
You're a chair of that committee?
I'm chair of the Homeland Security Federal Defense Committee.
I thought so.
Right. Yeah, but we don't have the veto power.
No. Because, you know, I know that you've spoken with Alan Roster, who's a local expert on these issues, and you know, it's an issue that has never been properly replied to by state, city, anyone really.
Right.
It's actually been sort of laughed at and accused of fear mongering, and that's not the issue. There's never been a proper airing of it until actually tonight, I would say.
And that's why we have to push it. That's why we have to push it. I sent 2 letters. I actually bumped into the new head of the MTA. I bumped into him on the train. He was riding the train. And those who know me, I ride the train everywhere. I'm a Metro car carrier. I bumped into him and we spoke about it in a brief conversation. He said, let's sit down and have a further conversation, that they must come up with a real plan of dealing with the infrastructure on public safety. The 88th precinct, the 78th precinct, and the local precincts in this area, they do not have the manpower to deal with a serious threat. They're going to talk about how do we get emergency apparatus in and out of the area, and that must be looked at in example.
But also, does Homeland Security weighed in on this project as far as you know?
No more than a letter of communicating to both the developers people and the police precincts in the area and to the police commission. We send letters to ask what is the game plan if something was to happen.
Yeah, Eric, I just want to weigh in on that point because I think that on the Homeland Security issue, one of the things that could also be done, and Eric has done a tremendous job chairing that committee, and is in a wonderful position to really articulate that concern in a powerful way based on his own experiences. I think you were captain, right? Right. Sometimes I say lieutenant and I give you a demotion. But Eric was a captain in NYPD, a very distinguished one, and is in a position to really forcefully articulate those concerns to the MTA, as we'll do when we sit down and meet with the new chair in a formal fashion. But I think it may also make sense for all of us to communicate with the congressperson for this area, Yvette Clark, because she also sits on the federal Homeland Security Committee. She doesn't chair it, but she sits on that committee. And I think she is in a position to reach out to the FBI or the Department of Homeland Security or the relevant federal agencies to really ask for a formal threat assessment. Because if we're just going to rely on Ray Kelly or the NYPD, we're just going to take orders from Michael Bloomberg, then it's not going to be a legitimate review. And I think we may want to consider the other options that are available to us. And the federal option, I think, is the most viable.